The movie begins with Rafa holding a gun and about to kill someone. Then a video appears of him speaking, saying that if this video is being shown, it means he is already dead. But he will not give up before finishing Joseé Angelo's message. He explains that in the past he used to be afraid, but now he has completely changed and no longer fears anything. Then the story goes back to before all these events happened. Joseé Angelo is visiting the grave of his young daughter who has recently died. After that, he returns home and starts preparing a bag. He has something with him that he is afraid anyone might discover. Suddenly, he realizes the police have arrived at his house and they start breaking the iron gate outside. Before they break the apartment door, he quickly jumps out of the window and goes down to the floor below. But he finds that the police have already reached him there as well. With no other option, he throws his bag onto a garbage truck. At that moment the police catch him and beat him badly until he is barely conscious. Then they take him to a secret location. We then see that they torture him severely, leaving almost no part of his body unharmed. After that we move to Councilman Santos, who seems worried about the item Joseé Angelo had. The torture continues until Jose is eventually killed, yet they still fail to learn anything about the bag or the book inside it. Meanwhile, the garbage truck arrives at a landfill. There, a boy named Rafael works with others collecting plastic. When the new truck dumps the trash near him, he notices a small bag and finds money inside it. He decides to keep it for himself and hides it in his pocket before the boss notices. But Gardo sees that Rafael has something. During their break he sits next to him, and Rafael gives him some of the money he found in the bag. They continue searching through it and find an animal lottery ticket, a notebook filled with dates, and a small photo album of a little girl. Rafael also sees an ID card belonging to Joseé Angelo, so he decides to keep the bag with him. Later he goes to sit with the teacher who teaches the small children how to read and write. Gardo arrives and says he brought chicken so they can cook it. They get very happy and run toward the water and jump in. After they finish, Gardo takes the chicken and heads back, while Rafael stays sitting in the same place. At that moment Rafael notices a police officer arriving. We learn that the police have come to the landfill because something important was lost, and they must find it. They offer the boss $20 for each person who helps find the missing item. Gardo learns they are looking for a small bag like a wallet, so he asks about the reward. The officer says it is $1,000, which is a huge amount for just a wallet. But the officer explains that the wallet is extremely important because it could help solve a murder case. When the officer leaves, he sees Gardo's mother scolding him and asking where he got the chicken from. He laughs and walks away. Later Gardo talks to Rafael and tries to convince him that tomorrow they can help search, take the $20, then return the wallet and collect the $1,000 reward. But Rafael refuses. He says he doesn't believe a single word the officer said, because no one would pay that much money for a simple wallet. There must be a secret behind it. Then they go to their friend Reto to hide the wallet with him, because everyone hates him and calls him the sewer rat. Reto sees the wallet and asks for money in exchange for keeping it. He says the key inside it is what everyone is looking for, and he knows exactly what the key opens. So they move with him toward a group of other boys they have to pass by. But the leader of that group starts beating Reto and demands that he give him something. He ends up taking Reto's necklace. After that, they head toward a locker at the train station. But they see a police officer standing nearby, and if he notices them he will arrest them. So Gardo runs out and pretends to snatch a bag from a woman. She immediately screams, and the police officers run after him. This clears the area for Reto and Rafael. Rafael quickly goes to the locker and opens it. Inside he finds a letter, which surprises him. He grabs it and quickly runs away. However, the leader of the other group sends some boys after them to catch them and take back the letter they found. Despite that, Reto and Rafael manage to escape and jump onto a train, while the smaller boy chasing them cannot catch up. At the same time, Gardo climbs in through the window, having managed to escape from the police. They open the letter and discover that they are supposed to go to the prisoner João Clemente in Cuba prison. They realize that Joseé Angelo sacrificed his life for this letter. After that, they return to their village. They ask Rado to pretend that he is hungry so the teacher and the priest will take him inside, and that is exactly what happens. Meanwhile, Gardo and Raphael sit at the computer and search for João Clemente. They find out that he used to be a lawyer, and that he was imprisoned in a very big case. They continue searching, manage to trace some documents, take them, and quickly escape from the place. Back at the landfill, the man who was suspicious of them the day before notices that Raphael and Gardo are not there today, which makes him even more suspicious. That night, Raphael is kidnapped and taken to an empty place where they beat him badly. After that, they cover his head and throw him into a car, continuing to torture him inside it. Then they bring him out to the officer, who wants to know where the wallet is. Raphael is covered in blood, but despite that he sticks to his story that he only found some money and knows nothing about the wallet. They put him back again, this time in the trunk of the car, while the officer keeps hitting him and torturing him even more. They take him out again so the officer can try to get any information from him, but Raphael refuses to say anything. This makes the officer extremely angry, and he orders the other officers to finish him off. Then he leaves in frustration, not knowing what to do, because Santos will not let this go. The officer stands in front of Raphael and fires a shot next to him, but he still refuses to kill him. At the same time, Father Juliard goes with Gardo to the police station to look for Raphael. The officer tells them that there are no children there. They are about to leave, but the priest becomes angry and refuses to go. He keeps calling out for Raphael. The other officers walk outside, while the priest sits down and starts crying, grieving for Raphael and believing that he is already dead and that he will never see him again. The next day, the priest's wife and Gardo are working with plastic when they hear that a young boy outside is between life and death. They run outside and discover that it is Raphael. The priest immediately treats him and stitches up his wound. He tells them that Raphael should have just handed over the wallet and stayed out of trouble. But what happened to Raphael only makes him more determined. He decides that they must do something about the letter they have. Right now, all they have is one name, João Clemente, and they will need a plan and almost a miracle for their plan to succeed. So they go to Miss Olivia. Gardo tells her that the police want to kill Raphael, so they need to go see his grandfather in prison, because he is a lawyer and might be able to help them. That night, Gardo sits and memorizes the message. Raphael tells them the name Santos, because the police kept repeating it in front of them. Rado explains that Santos is a politician who wants to run for mayor, and that he lives near the beach like the other rich people. The next day, Gardo goes with Olivia. She notices that his clothes look terrible, so she gives him clean clothes. Then she goes to her lawyer friend and tells him she wants to visit João Clemente so the boy can meet his grandfather. She pays him a lot of money so he can arrange the visit. They finally manage to see him, but João does not understand who they are or what they want from him. He says the boy is not his grandson. Olivia is confused by what is happening, and they are about to leave. But Gardo says that he has a message for him from Joseé Angelo. At that moment João becomes more interested, because José is his nephew. He sits down to listen to the message, which Gardo spent the entire night memorizing. The message says that the man who falsely imprisoned him is close to his end and will soon be jailed for everything he has done. It also says that the letter contains the secret that will allow them to put Santos in prison. João begins to cry when he realizes that his nephew has died trying to free him from prison. José apologizes in the message for being a burden and tells him to do what must be done. One powerful line in the message says, "From today on, don't be afraid of anything, because our fear is over." After that, João goes to wash his head. Gardo tells him that there was a notebook full of pictures. João then asks Marco, the prison officer in charge, for his Bible. But Marco tells them that visiting time is over and that they must come back tomorrow, and then he will give him his Bible. Later we learn that José had made 2 identical Bibles. That was the method they used to secretly send messages to each other. João tells Gardo that he must use the book to discover what José had hidden. Meanwhile, Raphael and Rado head towards Santos's house by the beach. When they arrive, they sneak in and jump over the wall. There they run into the man in charge of the place, who is surprised to see them and tries to chase them away. But just then Santos's wife arrives, forcing the man to hide them under the table. Later he takes them along while they carry out the trash bags. While they are doing that, he tells them that his boss is very upset because his right-hand man, Joseé Angelo, supposedly stole $10 million from him. That is the story Santos tells everyone. The man begins explaining the whole story, especially the part where Joseé took the wallet from Santos. For him, that is the most entertaining part of the story. Joseé had been Santos's right-hand man, so he had permission to access the safe. One day there was a party, and several businessmen came to give Santos money to support his election campaign. That money was recorded in his personal ledger. After that, Joseé used to put the money in the safe. When Santos left the house, Joseé ran to the refrigerator and deliberately broke it. Because of that, the next morning the floor was flooded with water. He immediately rushed to the safe, gathered all the money inside, and took the ledger that contained all of Santos's crimes. Then he put everything into garbage bags. After that, he placed the bags inside the refrigerator and sealed it tightly. When the delivery man arrived, Joseé gave him a large amount of money to deliver the refrigerator to his house. Later, Santos calls the police officer and tells him that some people visited João Clemente and that he wants to find his Bible. He also orders him to burn down the landfill. After that, everyone goes back home. Gardo tells the others that he spoke with Marco, but Marco is asking for a very large amount of money in exchange for the Bible. Meanwhile, Miss Olivia discovers the access code that will lead them to the secret. They decide to record a video explaining everything that happened. They begin filming, but suddenly the police arrive at the place. The children manage to escape, while Olivia is the only one left there. The camera keeps recording the entire time. Suddenly the officer enters and starts searching the place. He finds Olivia's passport and scares her a little. After that, he takes her with him and kisses her before leaving. Meanwhile, the children go back and discover that their homes have been burned down. So they head toward the railway tracks. Rado tells them that he will go somewhere else and meet them later at the station. The next day, Rado watches the office for a while, then sneaks inside and steals the priest's money. He leaves behind a drawing of himself for the priest and escapes. Then he goes to Raphael, gives him the money, and hopes that God will forgive him. After that, they start planning what they are about to do and organize everything carefully. Gardo goes to meet Marco, while Rado stays in the amusement area. They need to make sure the book is real before handing over the money. Gardo meets Marco and shows him the cash. Marco gives him the book and tells him that now he can help get his grandfather released so he can be with him. But suddenly Gardo gets scared. He pulls out the gun from his pocket and threatens Marco with it. He calls for the police, punches Marco in the face, and runs away. Rado meets him outside and distracts the police, making them chase him instead. Then he throws the book into Raphael's bike wheel, and they manage to escape from the police easily. They then go up to an empty apartment that is still under construction. Gardo goes downstairs to get some food and meets a girl there. She tells him that the police have arrived, so he runs upstairs quickly to warn his friends. By that time, they have already figured out the secret and discovered a phone number. Gardo keeps running from the police and forgets how he entered the building, but eventually he finds his way back to them. They quickly prepare to leave and run away from the place. The girl meets them downstairs and realizes they are running from the police, so she helps them escape with the help of her friends. The officer arrives at the building and goes up to the apartment. He finds the phone number written down and calls it, which leads him to the Cis cemetery. At the same time, Raphael also figures out the location. The children enter the cemetery and start searching for the name Joseé Angelo. Raphael thinks smartly and uses the paper he has, which leads him to the grave of Pia Angelo. He takes the necklace placed on it and starts crying. Suddenly Pia appears from behind him. He recognizes her and discovers that she is still alive. She tells him that her father asked her to wait for him there, and that he would come to meet her, but he never came. Raphael calls his friends and introduces them to Pia, telling them that he has found the money. But at that moment the officer arrives, holding his friends. Pia quickly runs and hides again. The officer orders them to break the grave to get the money. They manage to pull out the coffin, and inside they find the garbage bags where Joseé hid the money. Raphael takes out the book, and the officer becomes very happy. He calls Santos and tells him that he has the book, but he still does not know where the money is. At that moment, Pia throws a chair leg at the officer, making him dizzy. The children then attack him and start beating him. The story returns to the first scene of the movie, when Raphael was holding the gun. Gardo tells him to shoot, but instead Raphael hits the officer on the head with the gun. Then they grab the money and the book and quickly escape from the place, throwing some trash to cover their tracks. The next morning they arrive at the landfill. Raphael and Gardo take the bags of money and sit on top of a hill. Reto had already taken some money with him earlier and left extra money for the priest along with the book, as well as a drawing. The priest becomes very happy when he sees it. Olivia returns to her house and finds her camera, which recorded everything, including the children's conversation and the officer breaking into the place. She takes the camera to the priest, and together they try to upload the video online to expose Santos. Meanwhile, Raphael and Gardo throw the money into the landfill while dancing. The other children below begin collecting the money. After that, they take the last portion of money with them and get into a car. Reto and Pia manage to reach them, and they all leave together. At that moment, most of the police in the city are searching for them, so they must leave the city as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Olivia and the priest write down all the bribes listed in the ledger. They successfully expose Santos in front of everyone, and he is eventually arrested. People take to the streets in protests, holding pictures of Raphael, Gardo, and Reto and asking where they are. In the end, Raphael, Gardo, Reto, and Pia are living by the beach. They are enjoying their time, laughing and playing together, and the movie ends with a happy ending. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.